Hello Buzzicles, my name is Hotzy and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included, where last time we built a rocket and the logical next step is to launch said rocket. But for achieving that we need a few things. We need an astronaut, we need an atmosphere. That will be easy. But we also need to figure out where we want to fly. And previously I had a transformer up here, but you know, outer space is so hot it melted. So maybe before we can do this properly, we should set up a cooling system up here, and I don't want to have this right next to this wall, because here we will eventually have a fuel production facility for liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, and we want to have that as close to the rocket so we don't need a mass amount of the best insulated pipes that we can get, because they are quite expensive. So maybe we will have our cooling set up a bit on this side over here, which probably means we should look into digging out a bit more here. If we do it like that, I think this is all regular. It should come down easy. And then here on top, of course, we can also continue adding more bunker doors made out of steel to protect anything that we build up below. So yeah, as usual, this is quite a bit of work that needs to be done, and it will take a while until everything is sorted out. So let's bring everything in line. We can make here another suit, right? And then here we can see we need rocket piloting. I think we do have some duplicants. Yeah, Nesbit, for example, we could get there, and she even likes that. So let's bring her to this point, maybe also to this point, because that's even better. And we will not yet move her to the rocket, because once she is in the rocket, she is basically no longer available to do any work in our colony. So we want to use her workforce before we delve into outer space exploring with a rocket. Up on the surface we are not quite there yet, but I started here to construct a steel cage so we can have a vole farm, and that's because here on top we have quite a few voles roaming around, and they are kind of in a way because they continuously poop out regolith where we don't want it and where we can't use it. So we will eventually catch ourselves a few voles, put them down here in the farm, and then we can get rid of all the other voles that are still surviving up here. So we have a controlled environment here on the top where we can place things without the fear that there is inadvertently some heating up where we are not expecting it. I made quite a bit of progress with bunker doors, also with the setup with the robo-miners, and I'm habitually bad at breaking this whole process into pieces. So what we are likely to see is that I will put in all the bunker doors, all the rubber miners, all the cooling, all the power before we can open the bunker doors and look at the stars, which is a prerequisite for launching our first rocket. But I mean, eventually I would do it anyway, so why not now? And then we will progress as we go along. Here on top, the infrastructure is now all done. All the bunker doors are in. All the lasers to remove the rubble is also in. Cooling loop is in, at least here at the top. And if we have a look, power-wise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cables, and if we say each cables is 2 kilowatt, that's quite a heavy load. And what's more importantly, up here it's a peak load. So first we need the power to open the doors, then everything drops down, and then the lasers are kicking in. So for that we need batteries, we need more power production than we have, and that probably means solar, and as we are using solar, we need the batteries to compensate that peak load. And because it's up here, we also need cooling, aside from the cooling loop that we have there. So I think the next thing here is we will leave this space, but then back here we can basically have let's try to sketch this out. If we make this the container for our cooling liquid, and then have basically up here the cooling system. I think here we can get away with having 2 aqua tuners in here. That should do nicely. We need a bit of power here, so let's bring that in here. And we need that there, and we need to dig this out here on this side. we will have a ladder going down there, and then we will just dig out the top 4 layers, and once we have infrastructure in place here on top, we can do the bottom ones. So then here, that's the input, that's this input, and then we have this set up, and the bypass goes into the input of the upper bridge, and the output goes into the input of the lower bridge. And then we connect this like that, and this like that. And then we shall have roof here. And for good measure, let's put a ladder here on this side and the ladder here on this side. And once we have dug all this out, we do not need to care about creating a vacuum, because this is in outer space and everything is already a vacuum. And then here on top, of course, we will need some steam turbines. What we also have to consider is that because we started with a vacuum, we actually need to have a back wall, so that any liquid or gas we put in stays in. But yeah, that's the next step. That will go here a bit further up, and that then probably gives us the baseline on top of which we can build our solar array. For solar, we will need a bit more refinement. We need glass. Where shall we do that? Can we do it somewhere where it's not scalding hot? Ooh, how far down do we have a sink? Here on this side? Yeah, there we have our gold volcano that we're still slowly in the process of preparing, but we have power here. So what we could do is glass forge that's here. So let's add a bit of this there. And let's go down here. We will need output there. Take these two out. Connect that. That should be, well, maybe let's make this insulated pipe. And we will need power. Can get that here. That's that. And then here on top, we will need 2 liquids. One is petroleum, because eventually we will switch out for a petroleum engine. and then we will need water, because we will need oxygen and hydrogen eventually. So let's bring these two pipes up here. I did already prepare something. Here we can do that. Like this, and bring this up. That's for the petroleum. Let's just bring it up here. And petroleum we will also use as our cooling fluid. I know it's not the optimal liquid for cooling, but it will do. And then we need water. And actually we don't care if the water is on the spicy side. So I think we can take this water here. Oh, that means we need bridge. Actually, we could take this water down here. No, gets a bit complicated. Let's take this one. And then we will have to see how we can balance the water consumption, because what has happened is that this one has run out, so I added this second one to the same line, and we do have this set up here for salinating the salt water, and there I also am in the process of hooking this one up here, so we can really produce enough water for our needs. But it's a lot of work for our duplicants to finish, so let's get them to do it. The cooling setup is completed, and it's a bit of a catch-22, because in order to power this thing up, we have to connect here, and if we do that, we also need a bit of cooling going on. So we'll see how bad that actually goes. This loads the batteries. These ones back here are not yet connected. We can do that at a later point, but we can turn on the cooling, which is this pump, and then for cooling the batteries, that's that pump. This pump is for the cooling of the upper part, which I have already messed up because connecting the automation triggered the opening of the bunker doors, and yeah, you see what happens. So let's turn this pump on and this one. The petroleum is at 56 degrees Celsius, so it should be good enough to do the cooling, so that these do not overheat. At least I hope so. And we need quite a bit of power, because if we look here, we need now about 10 kilowatt of power, where previously it was about half that amount. But we can think about the solar panels, and I want to add them here so we can have the ladder going up here. That nicely aligns, and then connect there with a wire, and we will have this staggered, so we will have another going there, there, and there, and then we will have that. I think we can go one more layer up before we come back down and have this kind of zigzag shape for the power. And then yeah, I guess we have to clean this part up. We have to deal with all the broken machinery up here, and then finish the pipage for the cooling. As you can see up here, I have a row of transformers that I will need to power the whole thing, but we really need more power and more saved power to manage this. By the looks of it, we have a system that is working. All is connected up. We also have a few solar panels down here. We are loading the batteries. That's good. We need, however, more solar panel because during the night the batteries go down pretty low, and if we would have an event during the night where we have to close the bunker doors, that could be problematic. But let's not worry too much. The additional solar panels will come in due time, but let's have a look at what we have out there so we can make progress and actually start our first rocket once we have identified our first target. The analysis of the first target, the first object, is done. It's a carbon asteroid, not surprising here on this lowest level. So now we will have to send out an asteroid. I think we said we wanted to have Nisbet in here, and of course we want to go there. And in the meantime, we'll continue looking at other objects out there, because eventually we will travel to other objects and we have to identify everything all the way out to the outer rim. So we have assigned Nisbet. However, she has not yet shown up. So once she's in there, Oh. Probably our gantry is too far back to enter the rocket, but we can move that one over and then successfully launch the rocket once that is all settled and done. We also want to have this connection here. Should be good. And apparently the gantry can just float in the vacuum. That's nice. Finally, Nisbet has arrived, so let's retract the gantry. Let's open the door here, and hopefully once the gravel is falling, we can be quick about it and launch there before, yeah, need to dig this out, maybe also that, and we can do more research here on the next outer layer, and once our rocket comes back, hopefully with quite a few of research things, we can then actually make some progress here with the next towards the next best thing in rocketry, which is actually here, the petroleum engine. But yeah, for that our rocket has first to lift off and then get back. So let's try this again. There she goes. Goodbye.